You are about to watch a video, and the video itself, and also the lady involved in this story, a very pathetic one, particularly to those who are in the diaspora. It's very important that you listen to this, and also very much important that um, awareness and also the way you carry yourself when you're abroad. Very important. You need to let those who are in Nigeria, in Liberia, in Uganda, Ghana, Mali, wherever it is that you're from, or even in India, wherever you are, Malaysia, Indonesia. But this time around, we are focusing on that continent called Africa, and we are narrowing down to Nigeria, and we are going down and even much more to the southeast of Nigeria called Anambra. Anambra, this is where this incident occurred. So this lady is going to explain herself, and you're also going to see some short clips of what transpired and what happened. She lives in the United States, born in the United States. Her father had returned back to his hometown in Anambra State amongst his siblings. Oh, when I get old, I'm going to return back. I can't stay abroad. I want to be around my people and enjoy life.
So, Uncle Francis and Auntie Joe have literally been throwing sand on See, you see this? You see this? You see this? You see this evil? You see this abomination? You see this? Adam, Peter, Mark, what they're throwing sand. Come. I will show you the spirit of the Lord is in me. I will show you the spirit of the Lord is in me. I will show you what. Prostitute! Daddy, I'm here! Please, Daddy, I'm here! Please, Daddy, I'm here! They have not allowed me to see my father in 6 months. I'm here and they're throwing sand on me. What did I do?
Since August, but that's in 3 months.
What did I do?
So, with that said, that video that I posted January 12, 2022 forever changed my life. Prior to that date, for 6 months, I didn't know if my father was dead or alive. My father, back in 2019, moved to Nigeria, moved to Anambra in particular, to basically live out his Igbo boy dreams. He had built a house, he had worked for New York City for 25 years, and he was retiring on time, he was retiring healthy, and he just wanted to go back home and be with his family, live in his home that he had literally suffered and toiled for being in America all this while. I respected it, and I felt like him moving to Nigeria would obviously, create a new chapter in his life, especially after retirement. And so we welcomed it with, open arms, and I was literally there to send him off when he was flying. And after that, my dad kept in touch. He would call once a week, call for birthdays, call for Christmas, call for holidays. And it wasn't until the end of 2021, I was noticing some distance. I wasn't hearing from him as much. My life was equally as busy, so I didn't put too much thought into it. However, I did find it a little odd, given the fact that my dad and I have such a close relationship. It wasn't until 6 months in that I realized I haven't heard from this man. I would call him, I bought him an iPhone, I would call him with the iPhone, send money for credit. Meanwhile, my dad is on retirement. Money is not his problem. I would send money for retirement, I will send money for this, send money for that, still no word. It wasn't until I started to ask some really, really big questions that my uncle and my aunt in the videos now began to pull back and be hesitant to pick up my calls. For 6 months, I didn't know if my father was dead or alive, because when I would call, my auntie would tell me he stepped out, he's sleeping, or she's cooking in the kitchen, she doesn't want to go upstairs, blah, 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 just excuses. So when I went to Nigeria, the Holy Spirit told me, it's time that you check on your dad and you see the physical state of him and make sure that he's okay. I toyed with the idea, like, what did I do? I'm not a serial killer. I'm not a criminal that my dad would literally stop talking to me. Is he dead? I would have dreams of his body being hidden in the back. I would have dreams of him crying at night, you know, calling my name. I would have all these series of dreams. So after the insult, after the physical attack, I was completely covered in sand. I could actually at one point not see. Some of the youth and other villagers started to kind of basically crowd around because they were hearing the yelling and the noise and all the things that was happening, the commotion. Obviously, this voice doesn't change, so they could already tell that something was off because I didn't sound local. I began to explain myself that I'm the daughter of Peter. I'm the first daughter. I've come all the way from America.
I know you don't know, but see me as your daughter. I've come all the way from America. I've come all the way from America to see my dad. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing.
The youths, when they started to kind of hear my story and when whispers started to get around, the youths were rallying up to literally beat the out of my uncle and my aunt, because for them, they saw it as an abomination and as a taboo that the daughter of the first daughter, in fact, of the first son of that household will not be allowed into her father's compound. So now the youths are getting rallied up, and people don't know what to do. So the Anowu of our community basically decided to call the police. Number one, I was assaulted, and number two, to calm the crowd down, because at this point in time, the tide was turning against my uncle and my aunt. When the police now came, they said, listen, ma'am, you've been physically assaulted. You know, what do you want to do? I said, please, can we just hold off on pressing charges until I find the whereabouts of my father? At that point in time, my uncle and my auntie began screaming and yelling, he's in Abuja, he's in Abuja. I have a text message that I'm gonna post up here where my aunt is literally confirming that my dad is in Abuja. And a quick context, I knew my dad wasn't in Abuja because the reason why I was always checking on my dad is because, unfortunately, December of 2020, my dad had a stroke in Nigeria. I had fought for him to come back to America for proper medical treatment, but according to him, he was okay, he was fine, you know, he was seeing a doctor in Anambra. I didn't trust it, I didn't want it. He's a US citizen, come and get the proper medical treatment, but he refused and I could not force him. So when that happened, I just let him and his family basically plan out his care, but I was always on top to make sure my dad was okay. But after December 2020, basically, I was noticing my dad's state of health decreasing, and I was constantly having issues with my aunt and my uncle in feeling like they were purposely making him stay in Nigeria rather than him come to America for proper medical treatment. So fast forward now back to the present time, I found it hard that a stroke-ridden man could now endure 9+ hours on the road from Anambra to Abuja. And then whether he went by plane, I don't know, but something was just telling me my dad did not go to Abuja, nor was he in Abuja. So when the police now realized that it was a welfare check that I was making on behalf of my dad, they told me that obviously allowed into my father's compound, and that, I should, go into my father's compound and be rest assured that nothing would happen to me. When I got into the compound, it was more yelling. Villagers were still asking questions. Why did my uncle, my aunt feel the need to verbally and physically assault me? And they began making more lies, but nobody was believing them. It was just kind of like, what is going on? And that's something that I want to share, that when you do wickedness, you actually have no common sense. Like, the Holy Spirit, God cannot let you do something evil and think that you've literally checked off every single box. So the wickedness that my uncle and my auntie were trying to sow in the people, all you needed was common sense to realize that these two individuals were lying. Eventually, it started to get really late at night, and people were kind of like getting restless because there wasn't really any new developments, and that literally shook me. So as everybody's getting up to start walking out into the main road, I said, why do tomorrow what we can do now? You guys said I'm allowed into my father's compound. Well, then I should be equally allowed into my father's house, and I want to check his room. Some of the men and villagers were like, oh, it's getting late. I'm like, sir, we're already here. Let's just check. Let's just find out, if my father is indeed here or not. I can see the panic in my aunt and my uncle's faces. And eventually everyone agreed, like, yeah, we're already here. Like, let Christopher confirm if Peter's in Abuja, but let us also do our work and make sure that Peter is not into that house. I asked for a police officer to accompany me upstairs, and then the Enugu youth leader to accompany me upstairs. And guys, what I discovered when I went upstairs shook my core. I went upstairs to my dad's floor, and as I entered into the living room, I kid you not, it felt like I was entering into a graveyard. I could see death in the corner, and I was looking at death, and death was looking at me. And then I finally looked down, and I can see my father on the floor, on a dirty mattress, covered in just unimaginable things. My dad's beard was so long, his nails were so long, his mouth was so dry. When I looked at him, I felt my soul mourn. And I was like, really? This was what the abuse was for, to hide this. I'm sorry. The maltreatment, the malnourishment of my father. And again, in the first part, I told you guys my dad was on pension. He was collecting about almost $5,000 between his pension and his Social Security a month. And my dad looked like he hadn't eaten food in months. Just laying there in his own house on the floor, his skin, his bones withering away. And I give God the testimony for using me to basically unlock the evil that my uncle and my uncles and my aunt were doing to my dad. At that point in time, when I discovered him, I asked him a series of questions because I knew his mouth was so dry he couldn't even speak. He could only give me yes or no answers. So I asked him, I said, do you know who I am? He said yes. I asked him, do you know that I love you? He said yes. I asked him, do you love me? He said yes. I said, Dad, the devil has played with your life for way too long. I'm here to let you know that I'm here to take you. Be strong, I am coming. The Holy Spirit said, Ifunanya, she cannot go. She cannot go. She cannot go upstairs. Tell the youths, tell the police officers to hold her. She cannot go upstairs and see you and see your dad because she's not a good person. She will do something spiritually to hinder your plans. So I began telling the officers, hold Josephine, do not let her come upstairs while I'm coming upstairs. She needs to stay downstairs. She was shocked. She was like, no, I'm going upstairs. I'm coming up with you guys. The police officers were like, no, you are staying down here while we go upstairs.
No, you. If Naya says you are not going, hold that. She has to go. If Naya has to say you are not going,
Get her key.
Can we open this place? She has the key.
She has the key. Let her release 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 the key.
She has the key.
Let her release the key. No. Let her drop the key there. Playing around.
Yes.
She should not go out. She should not go out. You're not going out. You're not going out. She's not going out. She's not going out. Please. She's not going out. She's not going out. Please go get her. Please go get her. She's not going.
Go.
She's not going. She's not going.
So she finally opened the gate, but then the police and the youths basically held her in a corner and told her she cannot go upstairs. So I, with my father's best friend and a few family members and some members of Umuna, we now proceeded upstairs.
She's not going. She's not going. You plead up, please. Uncle Emeka.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Don't allow her to let her deal with you. Biggie, let her deal with you.
All the way up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. They locked it from the outside.
Locked it from.
Yeah. They locked it from the inside. They locked it from the inside. Do you see these mind games? Uncle, do you see these mind games? This door has never in the history. This way we go through here. I don't know what is waiting for us on that side. They locked it.
Is that a way to go from there to this?
There is. And there's a I don't know why this area is.
Can he come out to open for us?
Who? Francis is with him. So let Francis
Francis is there.
Yes.
Yes.
But as we're walking upstairs into the third floor, which is where I found my dad, I noticed that it was locked and that surprisingly there was a door that was open. The Holy Spirit said, do not go through that door. There's a reason why that particular door is still open. It is a trap. They've laid a trap for you. If you go there, you will die. So I said, okay, I'm not going to go through that door because it's ironic that all the doors are locked. Why is this door open? So I refused. I went back downstairs and I said, I'm not playing this game with you. You're not going to, this is not a maze. This is my father's house. You're going to bring my father outside or I'm going to employ the police officers and the youths to break every single window, every single thing in this house until my father's release. I told the youths, please go get a ladder because this is getting out of hand.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm not going to be searching through every corner of this house looking for my dad. It's not going to work that way. So the police officers, Umuna, the villagers were all screaming at my aunt, if Peter's in this house, why are you not showing us, telling us where he is? Who is Peter with? My aunt now said, oh, he's with Francis, the other uncle that, you know, was physically abusing and attacking me. They said, okay, tell Francis to open the door where he is. She's making all these random calls, telling someone on the phone, okay, open the door, I'm coming. The police officers are like, you are not going anywhere. You are staying right here. So at that point in time, I was telling the youths that they need to hold my aunt because I'm going to try again to go upstairs and see if the other doors to my father's house, my father's rooms are now open. As I proceeded to go upstairs, I now found my uncle, Francis, on the second floor landing, basically pleading with Umuna.
Yes? Okay. Yes? Yes.
See, don't be. Don't want one here, one house. We don't want most people to enter.
Sir, whose permission are you asking?
Wait, because of this condition, you come.
Okay, first and foremost, Uncle Emeka will come.
Okay. Why
Two
is
officers will
Wanganata?
come. Yes.
Wanganata?
Let's go.
Wanganata,
Please
please come.
hold Francis. Let him not enter that room when I enter that room.
Good.
Thank you. Sorry, because this thing is too much. You've seen it. You've seen it.
Controller.
Okay.
We don't want to
Do have on your phone.
please.
Excuse me.
Phone.
Excuse me.
I'm jello. I will not even stop anybody.
Daddy.
So I followed this lady's story. Ifunanya, her story is a pathetic family and all of that. It is heartbreaking. And like I said at the beginning, I said this is important, particularly for those who are in the diaspora, to take time and process this. Very important that you process this. You might say my family is not like that, my this is not like this. Yes, I'm not saying that your family is. It's the same way you trust the tires of your car, but then professionals and safety requires that you have a spare tire, regardless of how reliable you think your tire is. That's how it should be. Anytime you rise above those that have been around you, you need to create a kind of security, a buffer for yourself. It doesn't matter if they say you are this, you are that. And also, very important that you do not be that kind of braggadocious person. Let them understand that money is not picked on the floor abroad. Living abroad does not mean that you are wealthy. You are simply living in a system where things work, like how it is in your home country work. But maybe things are not working in your home country. It doesn't mean that those that live in climes where things work are extremely rich. They're just average civil servants. Oh, my brother is a medical doctor. He's very rich. He lives in America. He lives in Europe. What about the mortgage? What about the rent? What about tuition? What about that things that he has to do with the meager wages? Or you think they pay them excessively abroad so that they can live flamboyantly? No, it is structured. In fact, the higher you earn, the more you pay in tax. That's how it works. That's how it works. So a lot of people started putting themselves in the shoes of this lady. At some point in life, as a child, you have to be kind of watchful and know within you that you should be the biggest help and support to your parents. Have this at the back of your mind. And also, parents also should realize that they need to do better also with their children. Create a kind of bond, friendship bond, where they, that kind of lovers bond where your children will always be there for you, same way you are there for them. Very important that you create that bond. But like if you are getting older, there are parents who make mistakes. They make big mistakes. So, like you heard us say, the story is about a man having worked abroad, done his number of years, 25 years upward. He retired from America to his village in Anambra State, the southeast of Nigeria, in high hopes to rest, reconnect, enjoy his retirement in his hometown and the house he built. Like everyone has this aspiration, the house that I built, my people, I'm going to retire amongst my brothers and sisters. We are going to chill. I've gone to hustle, so it's time for me to now rest. My kids are there. Everything is fine. He had those plans. But his family also have their own plans. He's living among vampires. He grew up with vampires. Many people be like, I know my family, I know my family. You don't know your family. You don't know them until you start earning big or until they spot weakness that they can take advantage of. I know my family. Ask Mikel Obi. Ask Mikel Obi. He cried literally on a podcast explaining how wicked his family, how wicked they are to him. We are talking of someone who played in Chelsea, played and earned big money. He said he got to a point, even the spouse, fiancé of his sister, wife of brother, they were beginning to like demand as if it was their right. Like he needed to do something for them by force. He said he had raised some of them to do business and like, you guys set up yourself, be something, how much you need to do this so that you guys will be set up. No, they are not interested in that. They don't want to work. You are earning big. They are interested in what you get weekly. Like, Oga, if we don't eat this money, who is going to eat the money? Let us suck out of this money. God has placed you in our life to be the Messiah. So we are not going to work. Our prayer is for you not to have injury. Keep playing. You see that money, keep sending to us. Why are we going to work when you are earning this amount of money? So back to the story. The sibling of this man, according to the report, locked him up inside his house for a year. No proper nutrition, no proper health care. They say for like a year. Overgrown beards, nails withering away. All of this is for them to collect his monthly $5,000, $4,000, $3,000 pension. And of course, to gain his property. We're talking of a man that could not even stand on his feet. They say he had stroke. When neighbors and villagers asked after this man, their answer was always, oh, he traveled abroad. He's in Abuja. He's not in town. According to the report, the villagers, they never saw him outside for a day until his daughter flew in from the United States to rescue him after he could not connect to his father for months. His daughter felt uncomfortable, like, this is unlike my daddy. Like, how come he's not contacting or replying to messages? These wicked people, they pour the heap of sand in front of the gate so that no one can go in or come out. When she flew in to check her father, her uncles and aunt, they insulted her. They tried to scare her off. They called her Ashao. They said they are going to hurt her, but she refused. Thank God for villagers and the police. The thing is this. Either you have plans of retiring to your village after long years of hustling, working. Make sure that your children, it's time for you to start building that relationship with your children now. It's time. It's time for you to build that relationship with your children now, because you never know. You never know what will happen. You never know. If you think your siblings are much, people make these mistakes because now they are strong, they can move around. Then all of a sudden, they begin to talk glib and talk anyhow. That's it. Very important that you build that relationship with your children. Very important, because you might need them like this. Imagine if she had not come to rescue daddy. It's just a matter of time. The reason why they probably kept him alive or didn't really look too much into his demise, into him
It's probably because they needed that money. They just need him to be in that vegetable state, so as to continue to fleece him, continue to empty his account every month. They want the money to keep coming in. $3,000, they get the money. They're in charge of it. They're the ones managing it, enjoying life. Now our brother, like, it is their right. It is their right to collect money. It is their right to enjoy the money. It is their right to swallow the money. It is their right. Can you believe it? Ladies and gentlemen, life comes with lessons. But the question is, do you want to learn? Do you want to learn from other people or not? Imagine family members, siblings, acting in this devilish and wicked way. Very terrible, isn't it? Well, do not look at the story of Mr. Peter and then think, oh, it is Anambra people. Oh, it is this family. Oh, it is that village. It is that town. Oh, it is this. No. Oh, it is Igbo. It is this tribe. This wickedness cuts across race, tribe, ethnic group, family. It's got nothing to do with how, oh, our own family were raised different. We don't behave this way. Yes, it might be. But does that mean you should not pay attention? Please do. Do. I've said it times with that number. Unless all of you in that family, you are successful at the same rate. Successful at the same rate. And you guys don't have wicked spouses. Unless you are successful at the same rate. Not that some people are beneath, some are in between, and you are so you have to protect yourself, because envy will come in, and also they will look at your weakest moment. They'll take advantage of you. It's as simple as that. That you have brothers and sisters all from the same womb does not mean they cannot develop animosity. In fact, animosity could even be there from when you guys were young. Look at him. When we were young, our parent, my daddy or my mommy, would take care of him more than us. Me, I was like nobody. They didn't care for me. He's only one. Emeka, Tunde is intelligent. He's only one. Daddy will quickly rush to the parents, teachers. Oh, he's only one. They said that he's the only star child. They said he's the Moses of our family. They said this, they said that. He's only shining star. He's the only successful person. He's the only one that will be great. Oh, look at him. Imagine, my daddy refused to pay my exam fees. Oh, and that's why I did not become a medical doctor. Because I failed once. They should have tried for me too. You all know we have all of these issues. People not forgiving their parents or blaming their parents for their woes. And at times it could be that parents caused it due to favoritism. So you don't know what your sibling harbor against you, not because you directly offended them or did anything to them. They are harboring this resentment towards you because you are a product of maybe your parents' favoritism. You enjoyed it. You benefited from it. And then they don't like you. They don't like you because daddy took you as a favorite. If you have not come, daddy will not make decision. If you have not arrived, mommy will not make decision. Even when you are not right, daddy will support you against the other. And now you are not in charge of this. You're not in control. Your parents are the ones doing all of this. And then, how is it going to be? How are you going to handle this? You don't know what your siblings are thinking of. You don't know that part of them that has not healed yet. And they are harboring this resentment, this thought is inside of them. Some are like, you traveled abroad. Since you traveled, what have you done for your family? Like, a lot of people grew with this notion that coming from the same womb means that you must do so for them. You must care for them. You have the money. Why can't you? I mean, if you meet people with this terrible behavior, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. They have this sense of entitlement. Like they are entitled to your money, entitled to anything because you are siblings. They are entitled to you because, I mean, not like they've invested or worked or added value. Not like they contributed money to send you to the US. You struggled, you worked hard, you did all that you could do just to make yourself better. And now, because we share the same name, you must do everything for us. You must build us a house. You must give us. You have it. Why won't you give? Now, am I saying people should be stingy? Am I saying you should not take care of your family when you can, if you can? I'm not saying, neglect your family. I'm not saying don't raise people up. But once you realize that the people you're trying to raise up do not want to leave the ground that they are, they want to remain in that space. They just want to be a parasite. Don't retire to your village. Don't retire to your hometown. And talking about not retiring to your hometown does not mean you should now bring to yourself parasite or people who will do the same to you. And then people will say, look at you, ran away from your family, like from fry pan into the fire. What I'm trying to say in essence is secure your space. Secure your life. Plan for your future. The same way you are planning towards your pension, plan also towards your future.